Hello and welcome to the table. I'm your host, Teen Wolf, and today we are going to be opening 3 packs of Dominaria United set booster packs. And I'm gonna say this right now. Dominaria United, from what I've seen so far and from what you've seen on the channel so far, is a really good set, so I'm thinking probably gonna pull some pretty nice stuff. And let's just get right into the crack a pack opening. Alright, without further ado, here are the set booster packs. And let's get right into opening the packs. If I can get the first one open. Okay. 1181. Nice. We got ourselves a Swamp, an Extinguish the Light, 2/2 black, instant, destroy target creature or planeswalker. If its mana value is 3 or less, you gain 3 life. Pretty good. Enthrall to the Pit, 3 and a black, sorcery with kicker for 2 and a black. Gain control of target creature until the end of turn. Untap that creature, it gains haste until the end of turn. If this spell is kicked, sacrifice that creature at the beginning of the next end step. Interesting little kind of game control-y card. Bone Splinters, reprint. 1 black sorcery has an additional cost to cast this spell. Sack a creature, destroy target creature. That's not great, but interesting. Volshay Tide Turner, 1 in a blue, 1/3 Merfolk Wizard. You can tap it for a blue. Spend that mana to cast only to cast an instant or sorcery spell, or a kicked spell. Zar Ojanen, Scion of Efrava, 3 a green and a white, 4/4 legendary cat warrior with domain. Whenever this card becomes tapped, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control with toughness lesser than the number of basic land types among lands you control. That's a pretty good way to buff up your guys. And then there's Twinferno with Jaya and Joda in the art. Instant, choose 1. Either whenever you cast your next instant or sorcery spell this turn, you copy it, and you may choose new targets for the copy, or target creature you control gains double strike until the end of turn, which is pretty nice. Then there's Heirloom Battle Hymn, 2 and a red instant with kicker for a white. This card deals 4 damage to a creature or planeswalker. If the spell is kicked, you gain 4 life. Pretty neat. And then a sweet showcase of Wrath, Weatherlight Stalwart, 1 white, 1 blue, 1/3 legendary human wizard. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you may tap 2 untapped creatures you control. If you do, draw a card, and you may pay 3 in double white to give all creatures you control +1/+1 and vigilance until the end of turn, which is pretty interesting. And then we got ourselves a mythic here. I'm not sure if it's worth much, but Shanid Sleeper's Scourge, 1 a red, a white, and a black for a 2/4 legendary human knight menace. Other legendary creature you control have menace. Whenever you play a legendary land or cast a legendary spell, you draw a card and lose 1 life. Now, sadly, this is a commander card, so you can't play it in regular stuff. Ooh, Quirion Beastcaller. This is a good card. 1 and 1 green, 2/2 Dryad Warrior. Whenever you cast a creature spell, put a 1/1 counter on Quirion Beastcaller. Whenever it dies, distribute X +1/+1 counters on any number of target creatures you control, where X is the number of +1/+1 counters on Quirion Beastcaller. Then we got ourselves a foil Twinferno and a soldier token. But this is pretty sweet looking foil. And with that, let us get into pack number 2. That first pack, I didn't realize that Mythic was an $11 card. So, yeah, that was a pretty good first pack. And that Quirion Beastcaller was $2. So, pretty good first pack. And let us just get right into the second pack if I can open it. My goodness. sweet Ornithopter token on the bottom here. But art card, ooh, braids, and a sweet looking swamp. And then Impulse, you might remember this card from my draft video. This is a pretty good card, 1 in a blue instant. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may put one of them into your hand and rest on the bottom in a random order. And then, in any order. And then G2 Amplifier, 1 in a red creature, human wizard, 1/2 with kicker for 2 in a blue. Whenever it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, return target creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand. And whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, this card gets +2/+0 until the end of turn. That's a pretty decent card in a draft event. Same with this card, Wooded Ridgeline, Land, Mountain, Forest, taps for a red or a green, and enters the battlefield tapped. It's a pretty good card. And then Gaia's Might, 1 green instant, domain, target creature gets +1/+1 until the end of turn for each basic land type among lands you control. So possibly a 1 green mana +5/+5 at instant speed. I mean, that's pretty good. Linebreaker Baloth, 3 and 2 green, 4/5 beast with enlist. And this card can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. So if you don't know what enlist means, when this card attacks, you may tap a non-attacking creature you control without summoning sickness. And then when you do it, you add its power to this card until the end of turn, which is pretty nice. And then there is Tail Swipe, 1 green mana instant. Choose target creature you control and target creature you don't control. If you cast this spell during your main phase, that creature gets +1/+1 until the end of turn. Then those creatures fight. The creature that you control gets +1/+1, I should say. And then Tear Asunder, 1 in a green instant with kicker for 1 in a black. Exile target artifact or enchantment. If this spell is kicked, exile target non-land permanent instead. So this is actually a surprisingly good removal spell. And we got this card in the last pack, but this time it's in a sweet showcase. I love the showcases in this set. Oh, this is a card that I want. Rata Drobic, I still have no clue how to pronounce this card. Rata Drobic of Urborg, I think. 2 a white and a black, 3/3 legendary zombie wizard. Vigilance Ward 2. Other zombies you control have vigilance. Before you question it, I'm not doing zombie tribal. Just gotta make that clear. Whenever another legendary creature you control dies, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's not legendary and it's a 2/2 black zombie in addition to its other types. So I think this card in Showcase is worth a couple bucks. I think it's like $3. And then, oh, Joda! That's 2 packs in a row where we get a rare and then a mythic. Holy crap! Joda the Unifier, 1 white, 1 blue, 1 black, 1 red, 1 green. Amazing 5/5 legendary human wizard. Legendary creatures you control get +X/+X, where X is the number of legendary creatures you control. And whenever you cast a legendary spell from your hand, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a legendary non-land card with lesser mana value. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost and put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. This card is insanely good. I think it's $8. So 2 packs in a row with awesome pulls. And Joda's Codex in foil. Hey, Joda and Joda's Codex. 5 mana artifact with domain, 5 mana, draw a card that costs 1 less for each basic land type among lands you control, which is pretty good. Maybe a 5 mana tap, draw a card. That's pretty bad. But Joda the Unifier, awesome pull. Awesome pull. So that's 2 awesome packs in a row. So let's just get into pack 3. Let's keep the luck going. All right, let's get right on into pack 3. And that Rata Drobic, by the way, wasn't worth any money. Ooh, sweet card. And a swamp with the completed Weatherlight in the background. 2 and a green, 1/1 Elf Druid Death Touch. Tap out a mana of any color. Death Bloom Gardener, pretty good card. Eerie Soul Tender, 2 and a black, 3/1 Spirit Cleric. Whenever it enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards. And you can pay 4 and a black to exile this card from your graveyard and return another target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. It's a pretty good card. Samite Herbalist, 1 and a white, 2/1 human cleric. When it enters the battlefield, when it becomes tapped, you gain 1 life and scry 1. That's pretty nice. Magna Goth Sentry, 3 and a green, 4/4 tree folk with reach. Yeah, not really good. Relic of Legends, 3 mana artifact, tap out a mana of any color. Or you can tap an untapped legendary creature you control and add a mana of any color. Actually, it's not an or. You can tap this for a mana, and then you don't have to tap it to do that stuff. Ooh, Founding the Third Path. It's got read ahead, which means you can go to any one of these chapters you want. And it doesn't have to start on 1. It can start on 2 or 3, but once you get to 3, it just gets sacrificed. So 1 and a blue. First chapter says you may cast an instant or sorcery spell with mana value 1 or 2 from your hand without paying its mana cost. Second chapter says target player mills 4 cards. Third chapter says exile target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard. Copy it. You may cast a copy, though you do have to spend its mana cost. But that's still a pretty solid card. Mossbeard Ancient, 5 and 2 green, 7/7 tree folk with trample. And when it enters the battlefield, you gain 5 life. That's pretty nice. Then there is Cleaving Skyrider, 2 and a white, 2/2 human warrior with flash and kicker for 2 and a red and flying. And when it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, it deals X damage to any target, where X is the number of attacking creatures. It's pretty good. And then there is a Volhar, Voldalian Desecrator. 1 blue, 1 black, 1/2 legendary Phyrexian Merfolk Wizard. Tap it, draw a card, then discard a card. If you discard an instant or sorcery card this way, each opponent loses 1 and you gain 1. And you can pay 2, sack this card, then cast target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard this turn. If that spell would be put into your graveyard, exile it instead, but you can only activate this as a sorcery. So, not great. And then there's Joyra Ageless Innovator, which I recall isn't worth much, but it's a pretty sweet card. 1 red, 1 blue, 2/3 legendary human artificer. You can tap it to put 2 ingenuity counters on it, and then put an artifact with mana value X or less from your hand onto the battlefield, where X is the number of ingenuity counters on this card. So eventually you can cast just about any artifact you want for free with this card, which is, in my opinion, pretty stupid powerful. Oh! What the? We got a 4 foil! What the heck is this? Oh my god. This is a 4 foil Shivan Wreath. Tap out a colorless, tap for a blue or red, and it deals 1 damage to you. This is 4 foil! I think this card's like $12. Sweet! This is awesome! Oh my goodness. Let's get to the outro. I want to see how much this card is worth. So I'd say those were successful packs. Holy cow. I mean, we got 3 rares, one of which was a full art foil, and 2 mythics. 2 mythics in 3 packs. What? And so I'm gonna do the most expensive cards. And, well, I'm just gonna talk about all the rares. So, Quirion Beastcaller is the least expensive of all of these cards, and it's only worth, like, $2. Well, okay, it's not the least expensive, but this card's pretty good playable in any kind of creature deck. I mean, my dad's gonna put it in his elf deck, which, by the way, is getting revised, and it's gonna be a pain in the butt. But, this card is going in, and it's a really good card. Really, really solid card. And then Rada Drobic in Showcase. I thought that it would be worth something. I mean, it's a really solid card in my opinion, but it's only like worth 68 cents or something. It stinks, but sadly that's the way the world works sometimes. And then we got our first mythic, Joda the Unifier. This card is awesome. It's $8. Well, okay, it's technically $9 if you round up a couple cents, but still, this card is insanely broken. I mean, any legendary deck with this card in it, it's just nuts. You get to play cards off the top of your deck. You get to basically cascade with this thing. And it makes all your legendary creatures giant beasts. I mean, what? This card's stupid. stupid. And that commander card, though I'm never going to be able... Well, okay. I'll probably play it one of these days. But this card is $11. Like, what? And it's a good card, but I don't think it's that good. It's not better than Joda. That's for sure. This card can be played in any format. This one can't. So, Joda should be worth more. And the best card that we pulled, Shivan Reef. First off, Painland, which, for those of you that don't know already, I'm calling this Painland. Every single one of these, I'm calling a Painland because it deals 1 damage to you. You're painting yourself for a damage. I should have done it with Thermal Alchemist. No, I'm doing it with the Painlands now. I'm doing it with the Painlands. But this Painland, awesome card because it taps for blue or red mana. And this is just a really solid card by itself. And it's a full art, which, by the way, absolutely gorgeous. And in foil? What? What? I mean, what are the chances? And, oh, by the way, the reason I'm so, like, psyched about this, me and my dad did this last night, too, with Yavimaya Coast. What? Like, what are the chances? In, I think it was 8? Because we opened 5 last night, and I opened 3 just now. So in 8 set booster packs, 2 full foils of this. What? What are the chances? Like, what are the... Okay, first off, what are the chances of pulling a full art foil in a set pack? Second off, what are the chances of pulling 2 in 8 packs? And third off, how are they both Painlands? How? And these are the 2 least expensive. But in my opinion, they're still some of the best. But this is nuts. Okay, I'm gonna shut up because I'm screaming. But, awesome packs. Some pretty good playables, in my opinion. And awesome value. I mean, I think I doubled my money. That's nuts. But, thank you all for watching. That was a super fun video to record. And I hope that you enjoyed it as well. And I think you kind of know now that I'm going to build a legendary deck. So I'm going to be uploading that video hopefully soon. And I will see you then. So thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing. I'm your host, Teen Wolf. And I will see you next time.